Rumor has it Alvin Kamara may be looking for a new contract. So could the New England Patriots be in the market for one of the NFL's best running backs? I'm Sarah Goodwill here with Evan Lazar. We know Kamara's price tag is going to be high, right? And usually Bill Belichick doesn't shell out a huge amount of money for these skill players. But is this an exception?
Well, I think with Kamara, ultimately, I feel like cooler heads will prevail in New Orleans, and this deal will get done. They're very close as it is. I think it's $2 million was the reported number that they're off by right now. So to lose a player of Kamara's stature for $2 million seems a little bit crazy if you're the Saints. So I don't think that that will ultimately happen. But the one thing that I could see happening if you're the Patriots is that Brandon Cooks deal redux, right? Trade a first or second round pick for Kamara, get him for a year, and then somebody else overpay him in free agency, right? And that's always been Bill Belichick's sort of way of doing things with those types of players, is that it's worth it to have him on the team for 1 year at a reasonable cost. But when you're going to come to actually paying him that big money contract that he wants, let somebody else do that. So listen, Kamara comes off the bus, comes off the plane, whatever you want to call it. He's the best skill player on the Patriots, maybe the best player on the Patriots, period. So it's a huge upgrade in terms of just skill, talent, playmaking, whatever you want to call it. We also know how good he is in terms of his dual threat abilities to catch the ball out of the backfield, to line up outside, inside the slot, and kind of be a receiver at the same time. So he's sort of in that McCaffrey, Le'Veon Bell in his prime sort of mold where he's kind of a running back one and maybe like a wide receiver two or something like that. And that's a really awesome thing to have. But for the Patriots, they're not going to pay Alvin Kamara $12-13 million a year over a 4 or 5 year contract like he wants from New Orleans or is going to want in free agency. But as a rental for a year and you kind of cash in on that, I think that that's an interesting option for New England.
Definitely some of the criticism that has been surrounding the Patriots is their lack of a star-studded player on offense. If, like you said, if Kamara came into New England, he would blow everyone else away in those skill positions. Would he bring New England immediately to contenders?
Well, I think it also depends on how much where he's at physically, because last year he was still really, really good, but he wasn't quite peak Alvin Kamara. And I think the thing you worry about with any running back is that tread on the tires. Eventually all these guys sort of wear down a little bit. So is he going to be that guy that he was 2 years ago when he lit the league on fire, or is he going to be more the guy that he was last year? If he's more the guy that he was last year, he's certainly still a difference maker, but we're not talking about a guy that completely swings the odds of the Patriots winning the division or winning the AFC or making it to the Super Bowl or anything like that. But I do think that if he was the player early on in his career who couldn't be tackled, who could do pretty much everything with the ball in his hands, could run routes, could run from the backfield, run from outside, inside slot, all those types of things, then we're talking about a totally different thing. But based off last year, I think he moves the needle certainly in a positive direction, but I don't think it's a game-changing move necessarily.
Well, for all of our New England Patriots content, you can find it on our website at clnsmedia.com. And as always, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Patriots Press Pass.
This segment has been brought to you by Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code MAXWELL20 at manscaped.com. Take your grooming game to the next level.